So guys, out of here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Friend.tech application. As usual, all links going to be in description, but follow them at your own risk. Also, nothing in this video is financial advice. Always do your own research. Now, Friend.tech is probably the most hyped up application currently. If we check the Llama 4 metrics on base chain, and Friend.tech is on base L2, Friend.tech has been sitting for a while in the top spot for fees and the revenue. I've been waiting several days to see the numbers in the dynamic. Currently, as you can see, the TVL does not grow for several days. If we look at fees, it peaked around August 21st with the insane amount of like 1.7 million fees. I think I saw a report that at a certain point it even hit 2 mil for the 24-hour fees. Since then it's been declining, but it's still a lot, like close to 500k fees, and pretty much the same we can say about revenue. So these peaks of interest and hype was after the announcement that Paradigm invested in Friend.tech, and Paradigm has been investing in projects like Blur, for example. They did pretty fat airdrop, and here also the airdrop has been pretty much confirmed. It's gonna go in the way of farming points, and then these points should be converted into tokens, but we're gonna touch on that a little bit later. Basically what this app is, it allows you to trade shares, but now they don't call shares because of the regulatory concerns. They've been called keys of other people based on their Twitter profile. And if you hold in the key of a specific person, you can message them within the app. And also one of the reasons for such a big revenue, for such big fees on the platform is because some profiles keys are like really expensive. They go for several ETH per one key. But let's move on. Let's try to install the app. I'll show you how to do it on PC, how you can do it on the phone. Then we're gonna check the functionality and the potential ways that you can profit from using this app. And then I want to touch a little bit on adoption. So first of all, how do we install this app? If you use your PC and you go to the official website, as it is a mobile application, it will tell you visit Friend.tech on the phone to install the app. So if you want to use it from the PC, you need to emulate the phone, and you can do that directly from the browser. For that, you can install one of the extensions from the Google Store that allows you to do that. I'm going to be using User Agent Switcher. I'll put the link in description. You can use this one, and again, follow at your own risk, or you can use something else. That's completely up to you. So if you use this one, the way it works, you just click on the icon, and in this window we need to select Android and Chrome. I recommend using this setting, Android 13 with the Chrome. Then we click apply for active window, and then we need to refresh the tab. And as you can see, we now got this pop-up, and all we need to do is click here to install the app. And after that, you can use it as a normal app on Windows. There is a possibility, however, that this window of the application is gonna be lagging, and you're gonna see this message in your app. And in order to get rid of it, again, open the user agent or whatever extension you're using and switch a couple times from Windows to Android and back. Just apply for the active window, refresh tab, like do that a couple times back and forth. As you can see, after I switched back to Windows, we have this message again. So I'll go back to Android. See, sometimes it just doesn't respond. Boom, I switched back to Windows, now it's working. So that's just not too responsive, but that's how you can use it on a PC. And on mobile, it's obviously easier. You just, in the Chrome, if you're using Chrome, you just click here, and below translate, there should be a button to add to the home screen. It's not shown for me currently because for some reason it just doesn't work on the emulator, but if you're using the proper mobile phone, it's gonna be there. So you just add this to your home screen, and then it's gonna be here, and you can access the application from there. But I'm gonna be using the PC version. So first of all, we need to sign up, and here you can use either your phone number or your Google account. Now I'm using my Google. Okay, successfully created. Now we need to input invite code. You can find them pretty much everywhere, because once you register, you get 3 of your own codes that other people can use. So there are Telegram groups, for example, where people share these codes. I will link one of these in description. However, every code can only be used by one person. So if you get the error, just try another code basically. Alright, now we need to link Twitter. And then we get into this screen where we can deposit some ETH in order to use the app. So we have 2 options. Second option is to receive it on Base. So we can copy address, and this is probably gonna be the best option, to just send it from your wallet on Base to this specific address. Second option is deposit on mainnet. Can use another device. I'm not sure what this is. Okay, let's see. So if I open this page, this is the window. I'm just curious how this works. Obviously, I'm not going to use this function. 0. Okay, let's see. Connect wallet. MetaMask. Ethereum mainnet. I actually wonder, do they charge anything? No, they're not charging anything. So you basically send in your ETH on the mainnet, and then the same amounts being deposited to your address on Base for this app. Okay. Obviously, I'm not gonna use this function. I will just straight up send ETH on Base to this address. Base. I'll do something like this, around 25 bucks. Seems like gas is super low currently. Yeah, it's 12 gray. It detected that we sent some ETH. Basically, it gives a short tutorial. Buy your first key. All done. Okay, I don't want notifications. Friend.tech is in beta. Alright, and now we can start using the app. So app is pretty simple. There are 4 functions on the bottom. I'll just move my camera a little bit. Yeah, that should work. So we got chats, and you can chat with the person who you have keys from. Then you have explore. This is basically where you can find different people in this app. Like for example, Kobe, one of the most expensive keys. It will show you holders, holding, you can click on it, and you can see various statistics on who is holding, how many keys. You can see statistics on the trades. Also, one point here, that there are already a bunch of third-party applications that have data on this app in the more structured form. So if you plan to like actively trade here, obviously there are better solutions to use than just browsing inside of this app. And price of keys being basically determined by the demand on how many keys are actually free to buy. Like for example, if I go now to buy my other key, now the price is gonna be around 2.83 including fees. So let me buy this one and I'll show you the next one. That's gonna be more expensive. As you can see, you don't have to approve any transactions in the app. It's just basically using your balance. That's it. Okay, now on 3 keys, let's try to buy the next one. If I go buy the next one, the price is now already 4 USD. I'll get this one and we'll see the next. The next I'm not gonna buy. Okay, done. Next one is gonna be 554. So pretty self-explanatory mechanism, and the same way you're buying the key, you can also sell the key. And the more people are selling, the more price is gonna drop. And there's also an airdrop that we're gonna touch in the moment. And this is pretty much currently all the functionality of the app, and yet it's getting this enormous amount of hype. So what are potential ways that you can earn money here? Well, obviously, first way is to flip keys. Just like with everything else, you're trying to buy keys with a lower price and then sell them at a higher price. And also, I would say there are two sub-possibilities here. The first one, you do that fast. One of the most popular ways is when somebody joins the platform and this person have a lot of followers, his keys will likely to go up very fast. And so you can theoretically buy a bunch of keys right away and then flip them after a short period of time when they reach certain value. The problem with that is that there are tons of bots in this app, like tons of people using various software in order to detect your user registrations and as fast as possible buy their keys. There are also some groups in Telegram where again bots are posting new registrations, but I think here if you don't have the more or less sophisticated software to get these keys almost instantly, like you're not gonna win this war. You can try obviously, but I haven't seen any success stories from people who actually do that manually. So this would be like a short-term flipping. And the second possibility I would call long-term flipping is where, for example, you buy somebody's keys where you think that in some period of time, it's gonna be fairly long, that this person's Twitter profile is gonna have more followers, be quote-unquote more valuable, and then potentially his keys will go up in price too, and then you can sell it. And problem with this structure is first, it's kind of hard to predict whether or not these profiles that you are betting on will indeed perform well in terms of new followers, their subjective value, and on top of that, let's say that you were right and some profile actually did well, and let's say this profile got like 5x the amount of followers in, I don't know, 6 month time. Sounds good, right? And we would expect that in this scenario, keys of this person will go up in price as well. The problem here is that we don't know where this app is gonna be in 6 months. In my opinion, if you bet in long term, you're also kind of betting that this app will not go away. Not even go away. If it's like losing popularity, most likely the whole market of keys will go down as well. But here where we arrive at the airdrop, because I think the airdrop is actually balancing the downside. It's like all the downside, the potential like negative effects are being balanced by the airdrop positive effects. So how the airdrop works. If I go here now, I mean, I'm not gonna see anything here. I don't have any points because points are being distributed on the weekly basis. Let me actually move my camera back. So every week, everybody who's doing specific actions are being awarded certain amount of these airdrop points. And then the airdrop, as far as I understand, I mean, it's obviously some time in the future, but this campaign, we can call it campaign, probably gonna be fairly lengthy. Like it's gonna be at least several months. And then most likely there's gonna be something similar to Blur airdrop. There's gonna be some sort of conversion from your points to the actual tokens. Also, one interesting thing here, I saw reports that based on the amount of points that people got on the week and their actions, they draw conclusions that different weeks, different actions are awarded. So some people claiming that this week that was about holding keys, the previous week was about trading keys. Obviously, it's all speculations because we don't have any concrete data on that, any concrete confirmation, but they're probably gonna mix things up so people don't like crack the code and just do one thing. Other metrics can be the amount of buying transactions, selling transactions. They can also be volume metrics. Usually, again, the more the better of everything. If your goal is to farm as many airdrop points here as possible, you can absolutely dive into that app, but prepare to spend some money. And I think if we take all users of this application currently, there's gonna be a good chunk who's gonna be on this app for the airdrop. And why I said that this is sort of balancing negative effects, because let's say the popularity of the app goes down, which means most likely there's gonna be more cheap keys available, first of all. And secondly, there's gonna be less people on the app who's gonna be getting the same amount of points, because I assume that this is gonna be fixed amount of points allocated for distribution for every week. So less people on the app, the more points you're gonna get. On the flip side, if the app becomes even more popular, everybody's gonna get less points, and probably existing keys gonna be more expensive too. However, there's probably gonna be way more accounts that are coming into the system. So we have all of these moving pieces here, and it's really hard to predict how the whole thing is gonna play out. And also, if we eliminate the airdrop part, let's just say there is no airdrop. So people just come in here because of what? If you eliminate the gamified experience of like quote unquote owning somebody's, I mean shares was a better word, but obviously they had to change it due to regulatory concerns. So you can kind of own the piece of somebody's Twitter in the gamified tokenized form. Doesn't really mean anything in this context, obviously. Like it's within this app, you're not really giving away the piece of your account in any shape or form here. And the only function here possible is to chat with the person whose keys you're holding. And in essence, that's not actually new. If you go to dbank, there is a hi function that costs a specific amount of money, where you can pay this money to a person to say hi, to basically start the chat. Now, the person does not have to respond to you, neither here nor on dbank. There are probably other places that utilize this function. Now we don't have the mechanism where like you have to respond. So again, this functionality alone, I think it's just not enough. And again, if we look just on the app, on how this whole thing works, without significant changes, without changes to the structure, I think popularity of this app will go down. And it's only going to be balanced by the airdrop. Because again, if there was no airdrop here, after like spike of popularity like this, there could be like a nosedive, 100%. But because of the airdrop, I don't think we're going to see like the nosedive. It's going to be more flattened. That being said though, if they improve the app, if they add some more features here, and especially if they are able to bring people, not just from crypto space, but like other influencers. Currently, I think the system doesn't really incentivize people to come to this platform. I think one of the key problems here that you don't really control your keys. Like for example, let's say a super popular person and your keys should be worth 1 ETH. You go register on the platform, and the second you completed your registration, there are already bots buying your keys. So basically when you want to go buy your own key, you're being treated as all of the other users of the app. Like you have zero control of these keys, which I think is not the right approach, but this is very subjective, obviously, because you can argue that it is the right approach and everybody should be equal in that sense. But I think it would be better if influencers could have more control of their keys. Like for example, off the top of my head, let's say a person have, I don't know, 10,000 followers. And when he registered, let's say first 5 keys is gonna belong to him. Like right away, he's gonna have 5 keys, and the price, the starting price of the key is not gonna be like 0. It's gonna be the price of 6th key. If the person have like 1 million followers, maybe he should possess like 50 keys right away, and the initial buying price is gonna be like the price of next key, like 51st key. This way you incentivizing big names to come to the platform. And also, once they are on the platform, you can incentivize other people with better chat structure and maybe some other ways to incentivize actually influencers to talk to the people, to key holders. And this way, especially if you can bring influencers from not just crypto, but from different areas, then you can incentivize more people outside of crypto to use this application, and bam, you have adoption through this app. You have transition of some people into Web3 space. Okay, this is a very narrow segment of like Web3, but still you bring in people here. And this is where I think that actually apps gonna drive crypto adoption, blockchain adoption. But that's kind of a separate topic. Because SocialFi apps, they can also exist off chain, obviously. Like you can easily replace your ETH with some old payment system, and this will work fine, right? Is it better on the blockchain? 100% it's better. Does this necessarily have to be on blockchain? No. So it can exist there, but it's better on blockchain. So you build more apps that normal people, quote-unquote normal people, can use. Then there are some incentives within these apps to bring these people over. Like for example, some person really likes some influencer, wants to talk to him, and it's possible within this app. Like he's like, okay, he comes to this app, he's being introduced in a very, very light way to having some sort of wallet here within the app, and the need to fund this wallet. And obviously here we're gonna face a lot of problems due to lack of structure. Normal person, they 99.9%, they don't have any ETH anywhere, let alone base. Potentially they can go and buy some ETH, and I believe a lot of people not actually will go through the purchasing the crypto the first time, because there's gonna be obstacles. In certain places you need to pass KYC, in certain places you just need to send like the proof that you own this card, etc. Like in most places, you're not gonna buy without any verification of your card. But this is again separate topics. But consider this, you improve the app, it doesn't even have to be this app actually. Like I'm just talking theoretically. It can be this app, or maybe somebody built something better, some other SocialFi app, and you're able to bring all these people, all the influencers there, and then based on that, you're now able to bring more normies to the app, and on top of that, you are able through, I don't know, MoonPay, through Banxa, through other providers, right in the app, accept the old payment methods. Like this will go parabolic. This is just my subjective train of thoughts here. So I mainly care about this stuff. Going back to the use of this app, I'm gonna be probably doing a couple of actions here every week. See how much points can I get. I just dropped 25 bucks here and I'm just gonna play with it within this app. That's it. And we're gonna see how it goes, because predicting with that sort of things, I don't think it's a good idea. Whatever you do within this app, I think it's a gamble. Whether or not you want to flip, whether or not you want to bet long-term on somebody's keys, whether or not you want to bet that the airdrop will actually give you more money than the amount you spent to get these points. Because you don't know the state this app is going to be in at the time of the airdrop. It can be super hot, it can be completely forgotten. and that's gonna reflect on the price of the token and so the amount of money that you're gonna get from it. So as usual, think for yourself. So that's all I wanted to cover here. If you got up until this point, thank you very much for watching, for listening to my train of thoughts. Please like and subscribe, drop any of your questions and suggestions into the comment section, and I'll see you soon.